Be good if everyone is also muted because because it's being recorded, right? Then it becomes it interferes with the others when they are listening later on and all that. Okay, we want to start off with what is Tirukural. Sir talked about Tirukural when we were in India, and so it actually when I went to explore, yeah, there's so many things that it talks about food and all that. So Tirukural is actually written by Tiruvalluvar, right? So, and it's also divided into three main sections, which is the Aram, Porul, and Inbam, which is virtue, wealth, and love. Okay. And he talks about a variety of, it's just like Confucius, right? They talk about different parts of life and how we lead our lifestyle and all that. The same thing in Tirukural, they also have different parts like politics, leadership, righteousness, filial piety, morality, and food, health, everything. Okay, so it encompasses everything in the Tirukural itself. All right, so as we said earlier, it is written by Tiruvalluvar, a Tamil poet and a philosopher who lived around the first century. All right, and Tirukural carries a universal values, so it promotes non-violence, honesty, compassion, self-control, justice, and how to live ethically and lead responsibly. Right? It's not tied to any particular religion or belief system. Right? It's just a general way of living our lives. Okay. So it's touches on a lot of things there. Okay. The one today I have taken out is pertaining to food and our health. All right. So it's very interesting. It's okay. Let's listen to it in Tamil first. Yeah.
திருக்குறள் அற்றால் அறவறிந்து உண்க அத்துடம்பு பெற்றான் நெடித்துய்க்கும் ஆறு. நாம் உண்ட உணவு செரிப்பது மிகவும் முக்கியம். உண்ணும் உணவின் அளவையும் அறிந்து உண்பது நீண்ட நாள் நாம் வாழ்வதற்கு வழிவகுக்கும்.
Okay, so in English, what it means is, okay, this is done by Shanti. Her voice, because she's a Tamil teacher, so I got her to record it and I just put it inside here so that it sounds, you know, professionally said, right? So she said it in a beautiful way. So what it talks about is eat with consideration and moderation, right? So eat what is necessary, what is required for the body, right? Don't eat for the tongue. The tongue, the taste buds have a lot of, because we are so used to great taste, right? We want food with very much of flavorful and all that. But eat what is important for the body because we're eating it for it to give us energy to function well, right? So it says eat with consideration for what you have already digested and in proper measurement. So eat what is needed. Okay, this is what the one way of living a long life with a healthy body, right? So moderation and mindful eating. And one should eat after only fully digesting previous food. So what happens these days in modern times, after you have eaten your lunch or whatever, you feel like you want to snack, right? So if you want to snack on a fruit, it's okay. But if you want to snack on salty snacks or sweet or desserts, those are the ones that are not really encouraged because sometimes the body doesn't need all this, right? Remember in the ancient time, in the past, our grandfather, grandmother, our parents used to work very hard. They don't sit in front in the chair, on a chair, facing the computer daily or working in the office and all that. They are out and about. They're moving here and there, right? So because of that, their food gets burnt out faster and they need the meals, right? They need to eat more rice and all that. But for us, when we are seated more in front of the computer in the office, we don't need that much of the food. So it's important that we not eat too much or too little. So by doing this, the person can actually maintain a good health and live a long life. So that's what it means by this. Let's listen in Tamil again.
திருக்குறள் அற்றால் அறவறிந்து உண்க அத்துடம்பு பெற்றான் நெடித்துய்க்கும் ஆறு. நாம் உண்ட உணவு செரிப்பது மிகவும் முக்கியம். உண்ணும் உணவின் அளவையும் அறிந்து உண்பது நீண்ட நாள் நாம் வாழ்வதற்கு வழிவகுக்கும்.
All right, so that's what it means. All right, now back to our digestive system today. So so our digestive system is amazing. It's when I was looking at the topic itself or when I was doing the research, I thought, wow, God is amazing. It's such intricate design of our human body system. each and every function that we don't even know what it is doing, but it's amazing how the cells are working day and night and helping us to ensure that we have the right food that is going through, the nutrients are taken and circulated around the body through the blood system and all that. It's amazing. So our digestive system plays a major role in maintaining overall health of our body, right? So the process of digestion, of course, begins with the mouth, right? So major organs that and their roles. So it starts with the mouth. After that, it goes through the gullet, or as otherwise known as esophagus, right? And then it goes through the stomach, small intestines, and the large intestines, right? So these are the major organs that we will be touching today. We will need part two because it is way too much to complete everything in one session today, and it will be overload of information as well. So we will divide the session into two so that it's more fruitful for everyone. Okay, our aim is not to just anyhow complete it and go. We want to do it with understanding, so we understand how our organ actually plays a major role, right? So major organs and their roles. Our mouth, it chews, and it's in charge. Our teeth breaks down the food, right? We chew the food, so the food is broken down in our mouth by saliva, right? So the function of the mouth is to make the food into alkaline, right? And saliva starts the digestion of the carbohydrates, right? Because saliva has some enzymes called amylase to aid carbohydrates digestion in the mouth itself. So it's very important that we chew our food carefully and slowly, not just swallow the food, because this mouth process is very important, right? So it changes starch into sugar as well. So the mouth, when you take your time to chew, that's when digestion happens properly as well, right? So many children, they like to swallow the food. When you swallow the food, you one part of the digestion is not working properly because you're throwing it all to the through the esophagus to the mouth. And sometimes, when the food is not chewed properly, you can actually get stuck in your gullet somewhere, and then you start coughing or even go through the windpipe. Sometimes that's dangerous because some people can even get choked, right? And they can even die because they can't breathe, because the windpipe is only allows wind to go in, nothing else, right? So now saliva helps to soften the food to go through the esophagus, or otherwise known as gullet, or if not, you can call it food pipe. Okay, every word of it, the term of it means the same. So esophagus and gullet are very important because they are the ones who are passing the food down. Later we'll be watching a video. I found an interesting video which actually shows how it does, right? So it moves food from the mouth to the gullet by the peristaltic movement to the stomach, right? And then it then passes from the series of organs to be broken down further and then again reprocessed. So stomach actually mixes the food with the gastric juices to break down proteins known as the pepsin, right? And then hydrochloric acid, which is very strong, right? So no bacteria or germs can actually enter the stomach easily, right? Because the hydrochloric acid is so acidic that actually it actually destroys everything and all that. Yeah, I remember my nephew in Australia. He stays in Australia. He went on a field trip and he accidentally swallowed a $2 coin. The $2 coin is small in Australia, but it's thick, right? So what happened was this boy went on a field trip and his friend was trying to take his coin. He just put it in the mouth, okay, to ensure that the friend doesn't take. But he forgot later on that he has a coin. He swallowed it. So then when he after the field trip, when he got back home, when the mother picked him up, my sister-in-law, and she told that he swallowed the coin, she freaked out. She was like, oh my god. She called us, and then okay, then she brought him to the doctor, and they did an x-ray. They found the coin in the stomach where it is, right? Doctor said, don't worry, the hydrochloric acid is so strong, it will either dissolve the coin, or if not, it'll come out through the feces, and then ask her to observe. Meanwhile, we also were all that. So but later on, the coin just came out. So it's like, yeah, so luckily it didn't get choked because the coin is small, so it passed through. We can't swallow other coins, right? Because Singapore coins are quite big, right? So we can't do that, right? So, but this one was small, so luckily it didn't get stuck anywhere else and it came out of the system, right? And you have the mucus, protects the inner lining of the stomach, right? And then you have the small intestines. So most digestion and nutrient absorptions occur here, right? So it's very important because it's circulated around the body, whatever nutrients to be used for our energy, for growth, for us to grow, and and for cell repairing as well. So we need nutrients, like whatever food that we have eaten, they will have some vitamins, minerals, and all that. So these are used by the in the blood system, right? And these nutrients, they will be actually sent through the blood system and then used necessary for our cell renewal and cell repairing and all that. Of course, we have the large intestine, which is the colon, right? So the colon, what it does is like absorbs the excess water and minerals, which is not used by the body anymore, right? So it's thrown out of the system. So it goes in as waste into stools, or sometimes we call it poop, right? So it's thrown out of the body system. So rectum is where temporary collection of the waste is stored there for a while, right? And then the anus stores it and then later on expels it out from the body, right? So remember, sometimes when people eat too much or too often, right, the body doesn't get to push the food down quickly as you are eating too fast, right? So sometimes it's good to have the time difference in the food so that the body can actually help to digest and, to throw it out of the system as well, right? So now, what is digestive system? It's a very interesting, how it's all related and how they all coexist and work together as a mini factory going on to help us, right? So it's a beautiful system here, which is amazing how each of it has different function. So the digestive system is used for breaking down food into nutrients, which then passes into the circulatory system and are taken to where they are needed in the body for our necessary functions of to actually to maintain health as well, right? So if you look at this, the human mouth anatomy, right? So you have this mouth where all your teeth are there, right? So it will start breaking down the food into smaller pieces, right? So the tongue mixes the food with saliva, which contains amylase, which helps to break down starch and carbohydrates, right? So it also initiates chemical digestion while food is being physically chewed within the mouth. So it's very important that we tell our children to chew the food, right, as they are eating, or even us. We have to chew our food, right? So that, it takes the process, then it makes it easier for the stomach to start doing other work. Because if we keep swallowing, then it gives more work for the stomach, which is supposed to be done by the mouth, right? So secretes salivary amylase, which assist in the breakdown of glucose, right? And the epiglottis here. So we have a little epiglottis with a flap of a structure at the back of the throat that closes the trachea, preventing the food from entering. So that's why don't talk. That's why the elders, right, used to say, I remember my father will say, don't talk while you're eating, right? They always say, don't talk while you're eating. And I still follow that. When my children talk to me when I'm eating, I don't like it. I will stop eating and I'll say yes. And then I'll answer, then I'll start eating. Because the thing is, right, we have to stay focused when to respect the food, right? Because the food that is we are eating, we have to eat with consciousness what we are eating. So that this consciousness actually goes into our body system, and food is supposed to be healing process as well. And it's important that we treat the food with respect and eat what is necessary as well. Right? So it's like you are what you eat, right? But sometimes but you are not what you eat, but what you digest. Sometimes it's also like that, right? Isn't it? So it's very important that we eat consciously, so that we don't have things we don't get choked or go through the wrong windpipe and then get choked and all that. Yeah. Those people who come in, please mute yourself. Okay, thank you. So the epiglottis here, the breathing bouncer, right? So only air only here, right? So it leads to the stomach here. So this thing here, it's for the lungs. So we don't want any, even if you swallow accidentally a drop of water, you start coughing, right? It's trying to remove whatever that is not supposed to be there. It's only for wind, right? So food has another passage to go. So, and even it's fish ball, right? In Singapore, when Singapore, Malaysia, we will have fish ball, right? So many elderly people who don't chew the food properly, or even young children, sometimes get choked with fish ball because it's circle and ball, it's a ball, right? And if you don't, that's why we normally cut it small when it's for children or elderly, so that they can chew on it easily and it doesn't go to the wrong and get choked. Because if it does, it can actually be, life threatening, yeah, and cause death. So it's important that we eat. All right. So we also can feel our epiglottis here. So healing wand, pH healing, right? So we have a miraculous, wonderful wand, which can do a lot of amazing healing, right? So it's good to heal with pH protocols because then, those who have stomach issues and all that, it helps. But, some people with severe stomach issues, you may need to heal more than one time. You can't say that, oh, I heal in the morning and that's it. Sometimes you may need to heal 4 times or every 2 hours, depending on your condition. Because you see, our stomach and our organs are all formed when we are in our mother's womb. Okay, as a small, from that little fetus that we were, from a little egg from the fetus, we have been like living for however long that we are until now. So imagine it's like wear and tear, isn't it? So unless we look after our organs, and then they will renew and they will have a new perception of healing, and then you see that things will start healing. So it's a mind block sometimes people when they say that, oh, they are with this illness and that they until the end of their life they're going to be with. It's a mental block. They're putting an auto suggestion that they cannot heal. The body heals by itself if you program your mind and your body that you want to be healed, right? Until you have decided and affirmed that you want to be healed, the body cannot heal, right? You have to believe that a healing wand can heal and that you can be healed and your cells are capable of healing. Your organs are capable of healing, right? An organ that is comes from the time when you're born to now, it's functioning well. We have to show gratitude to our organs and cells, right? Don't take anything for granted, right? Especially with the kind of food that we put in, it's very important that we must show gratitude to our organs that's doing a lot of work, right? So you can do pH healing here. Healing wand become as powerful as required to heal my epiglottis. You can also heal your salivary glands, right? So healing wand become as powerful as required to heal the bottom salivary glands on my left and right side of my face. You can also see that, right? Okay, I'll show you a little something about digestive system. It's a layman for anyone, for even a child to a layman who can understand this simply. Okay, let's watch this. We have another one that is all for adults, but let's watch this for layman understanding first. All right. Okay. This one I usually use for my class. So it works wonderfully because it's simple and easy to understand. So let's do this first before we look at the complex ones. Okay. Okay. So you saw, right? So that's a simple, basic, the way it's being explained, right? So use that first so that, it's helps further. Okay, so now let's look. So there's now a recap of that video. What happens in the digestive system, right? So basically, the digestive system involves lots of stops as food and liquid move through the digestive system, right? So digestion starts
Yeah,
even
yeah,
before you
came
take
for
a bite
the thing.
of, right?
Letter to
Um,
them. Look,
Okay, so digestion starts even before you take that first bite of your food. So when you see and smell food, your salivary glands already starts working. So the classic example is the baby. If you see a little baby, ready to eat and all that, right? When the mummy or anyone or the caretakers who's bringing the food near the mouth for the baby, right? The baby's saliva is all like being formed, isn't it? If you have seen a baby, right? The saliva will start producing and it will start working. So they release saliva so you have some spit in your mouth to moisten the food when you start chewing. So the saliva has enzymes to break down the carbohydrates and all that. So that is basic understanding of the first part of the digestion, which is the mouth, right? So now you chewed up all the food and then, you bitten all of it and all that into small pieces. And then your food will move down from your mouth to your esophagus. Then the esophagus process is known as the peristalsis to send food to your stomach. So what is this so-called peristalsis? Remember we saw this here, right? When actually it will have stop there, so that it will, automatic wave-like movement of the muscles that actually helps your gastrointestinal tract. So it helps the food to move through your digestive system, beginning in the throat when you swallow, right? When you swallow here, it's going down through the esophagus, stomach, and intestines. Okay, small intestines while you're digesting and all that. So the stomach releases the acid, okay, which is hydrochloric acid, and a lot of other acids are there in the stomach itself. So, and it helps to break down these proteins or whatever that is needed for the body to actually to break it down into chemical reaction and metabolism to the body. And if you look at this the muscular organ, right? Hollow organ performs a chemical breakdown of enzymes and the hydrochloric acid. So whatever you put into your mouth, right, goes into your stomach. And the stomach is so elastic that it can expand 5 times its size. So that's why when someone who eats little, the stomach shrinks. And when someone eats a lot, the stomach expands, right? So someone who wants to lose weight, so you eat smaller meals more times a day. This eventually the stomach will start becoming smaller, right? So you don't need too much of food. After a while, you find that, hey, okay, I can manage with this amount of food, right? I will show you why as well. Sometimes fasting is good, when you don't need so much of food at times. Okay, so food enters the stomach and the muscular wall contracts to churn and mix it with a thick soup. So in this stomach here, whatever that comes here, it keeps on churning. It takes about 2 to 3 hours depending on what you have eaten. If you have eaten vegetables and salads and all that, it digests faster, maybe 2 hours, yeah, 2 to 3 hours. But if you have eaten meat, right, more protein and all that, and fats and all that, so it will take longer time. It can take 4 to 5 hours to digest. But most of the time, people, before even the food get digested, they're already ready for dinner, right? So they just follow time by time. You should only eat when you're hungry, not eat because you follow the time. I also will tease my mother-in-law, because every Sunday I'm super busy, because she will have a breakfast at about 8:30, around there, or 8 o'clock to 8:30, she'll have a breakfast. By the time it's 11:30, right, whether she's hungry or not, I also don't know, but I'm still cooking my lunch. She'll come to the kitchen already. I'm hungry. Okay, then I say, I only cooked 2 dishes only, you have to wait. You don't want the other dishes? No, then she'll say, okay, I'll wait for a while. But automatic that her stomach has an alarm, that it's automatically 11:30, she'll come, and then she'll be sleeping, yeah? She'll be sleeping. By 11:30, she'll come to the kitchen and say hungry. And 4:30 sharp, she'll be hungry for dinner. So I'm also wondering, like, she follows the automatic process. I'm really wondering whether she's hungry or it's a stomach clock that tells her, because before she got dementia, she used to eat every time by time. I'm the one who don't eat on time, but she will eat on time. So yeah, sometimes you're busy in school. Sometimes when I'm caught up with work, I forget about food sometimes. So yeah, and then I'll eat when I'm hungry, yeah, and all that, or sometimes eat a bit later. So, but it depends on individual, right? So whatever you put into your mouth is very important, right? So this turns the food into semi-liquid mixture called chyme, which is a thick soup, right? I always tell my students it's a thick soup, because from the stomach, now it's all churned for the last 2 to 4 hours, depending on what you have eaten. And it's a thick soup that can actually pass through the small intestines, right? And then the chemical digestion in the stomach. So remember, we spoke about stomach acids, right, which aids in the chemical breakdown of the food material. So it also secretes proteases to function the protein digestion. So stomach is amazing, it does protein digestion separately, carbohydrate digestion is done separately, and it does accordingly, step by step and all that, right? So stomach here, it will aid the protein digestion and all that. Stomach lining secretes gastric juices, which is the hydrochloric acid. So sometimes certain food has got bacteria or some germs inside, right? And then when it comes to the acidic environment, it gets killed in that process. Unless your stomach is so weak, right? Or your immune system is weak. Okay, we will be looking why it becomes weak, right? It is all our fault, right? We are all blessed with excellent body conditions and whatever that we are, from birth to now. But it is along the way we spoil it, or we, put in the wrong thoughts, wrong emotions, and the wrong food, the wrong diet, and then we mess it up along the way, right? So, but we can always rectify things, right? Because remember, it's our thought process, and we can rectify. if you want to heal, right? So, and there's a mucus which protects the stomach lining from the acid damage. The problem is this mucus, the stomach lining, can get worn out with constant acidic food or acidic environment in the stomach all the time, right? And lemon juice, and then your extreme spice, chili and all that, and other kind of food like, coffee and all that. Too much of it. Nobody said don't take or eat, right? Once in a while, it's okay. But people take it every single day, then it's a toll on the stomach. It's a toll on our digestive system and all that. And the poor organs, it has to do a lot of things, right? So, yeah, so we have to empathize with our body as well, right? So that we can help it function better, right? So it can become, so all living things have enzymes, which we have, right? And our bodies naturally produce these enzymes. So there are enzymes in manufactured food and product as well, what depending on what food you eat, right? So remember, we have enzymes in our saliva, which starts in the mouth, and we have enzymes in our pancreas also, right? We also have our enzymes in our intestines and stomach as well, small intestines, right? So enzymes are use nutrients for growth and cell repair and all that. So it's important that we have. So these small intestines then further turn semi-solid food into actually fluid to absorb nutrients, if you look at it. Yeah. So, and the pancreas and liver help by sending digestive juices to your small intestines, because liver produce bile, right? And pancreas also pancreatic juice. So depending on what food we have eaten, and it'll do the necessary. When you eat too
என்ன
much of fatty food, then the
இல்ல
liver has more bile to send there and to function better. Yeah, can you see?
ஓய் இப்ப பாரு ஐயோ நில்
Okay, let's mute everybody. Okay. All right. So the final step when the small intestine sends leftover food out, right? And that's when it comes to the large intestine as poop. Okay, this is normally, I think everybody will know this part of it, because it's our own body system, right? We know from young and all that. So now we have something called esophagus splinter. Okay, so in this one here, the esophagus splinter
No, அது
prevents,
PVH digestive.
okay, prevents acid and stomach contents from traveling backwards to the stomach, right? So there's a little splinter here, which closes whenever the food comes in here, automatically it will close, right? There's a kind of a little flap, and it closes it. So when it closes, no food, whatever that is here, cannot go back. It only happens when the splinter muscle has become weak or fail to close tightly. Then your food and stomach acid flow back, which is then called the acid reflux, right? So it reflux back to your esophagus, right? So because of the food, whatever food that we have eaten might be so acidic that it causes this reflux to happen, right? And you can note, like, you see, if you are the kind who normally will eat, and then you notice that nothing like this happened, and a particular food that triggered it, it's good not to take those kind of food at all, because it's not good for your stomach, it's not good for your health and your body, right? So take note, be conscious what you eat, and when you know that when this happens, then no, refrain from it. I remember when one of my colleague bought curry puff, right? And if I took one, it's fine. But if I took two, it's not fine. I know I'll feel like, hey, I feel a bit discomfort, right? So I know that should only take one, and or if not at all, because it's fried, and sometimes it's a bit spicy. So maybe it's not good for me and all that. Yeah. So be conscious on what food and all that. Yeah, so that it doesn't cause this acid reflux, because it's a very painful process. So imagine your esophagus and your or gullet or your food pipe. It's supposed to only have alkaline food coming down from your mouth to the stomach. So when this acid here in your stomach, it throws back out like this, goes out, it's very painful for the gullet and your esophagus. Yeah, so it becomes like what? That's when the acid is created, and it irritates or inflames your esophagus lining. Okay, in some cases, some people have burning chest pain, or have a sour taste and all that. So when the acid starts eating the walls of the stomach, it's difficult to heal, right? And who caused this mess? It's us, right? So the esophagus is not meant for acidic food at all. So, and we do not want unnecessary acid reflux going back. And a good way is to always start with salad. Eat something that is like salad or cucumber or something vegetable, you start it off with that. So it's sort of like alkalines the whole entire process before you put in any other, food and all that. So that also helps, especially with people with stomach issues and all that.
Chitra.
Yeah. So yes.
Yes. என்னது ஒண்ணும் இல்லையே
Okay. I thought somebody asked a question. Sorry. Please be muted. Thank you. Okay, so what is acid reflux, right? So acid reflux is a condition which in which gastric acid is regurgitated. Even like a baby, right? A baby drinks milk. And then after the baby has drunk milk, normally the parents will, beat the back of the baby to help it to burp, right? So when it burps, sometimes it regurgitates a little bit of the excess milk, or it is not wanted by the body and all that, right? So some people are very good at burping. I'm not good at burping the children. So after I fed my babies, normally I'll give it to my husband. He's very good because his hand is big, right? And then he will talk, 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 talk. He will hit, and then the child will burp, and then after that they can sleep nicely and all that. Yeah. So if not, the gas built up is in the stomach. The child will cry unnecessarily, and then the stomach is bloated, and then your child can't tell you what is the pain, what is the cause. So burping the child properly is very important, especially when they're babies, right? So the entrance of the stomach is a valve which is called the lower esophageal sphincter, which is what we saw here. This splinter, the lower esophagus splinter, which is very important. The moment the food has come in, it will close. There's a lid to close, and then it won't allow any food digestion that is being digested here to leave the esophagus. Okay, it only leaves the esophagus when the splinter is weak, or the food is too acidic or too much, then it overflows or backflows and all that. Yeah, so eat moderately, so that don't eat too full. Eat half to fill half the stomach, right? So they always say, right, eat half a stomach. Actually, the food later on, your brain will understand that, hey, okay, this is enough, and then okay, we'll start doing its work and all that, right? So sometimes the food is so tasty that people want to eat more of it. Sometimes that's why I never go for buffet, because in buffet you pay for the buffet, right? And you end up, you feel that you must take every food, right? Because you so I so my husband will never bring me for buffet, because I won't be able to eat also. So so it's a waste of money for me for them to pay for me also. So normal food is good. Yeah, just what is necessary. Buffet and all that is too much, and too much of variety and too much of food that actually also yeah, you are
Şimdi
enticed.
gördün bak ayette ha
Yeah, Mr.
Zoom meeting.
Okay. So the LES, right? We'll call it the esophageal splinter, which is LES, closes as soon as food passes through it, but it does not close all the way or open too often. So the hydrochloric acid produced by the stomach can move up to the esophagus if the stomach is too acidic. All right. So remember, the stomach is already producing acid, and the food is also acidic, and the stomach cannot manage, then it pushes back. Okay. So this can cause symptoms such as burning chest pain, called the heartburn. So sometimes pregnant ladies have this because they're managing to, another baby inside. So sometimes it happens and all that. If acid reflux symptoms happens more than twice a week, then one has an issue. So you must check on your food, right? And ensure that unnecessary acid is not pushed back and all that. So one should not be getting acid reflux more than twice a week, right? Once in a while, okay, check on the food. But every time, it is not good, right? So people with continuous acid reflux, so you heal often. So I remember my husband gets very bad acid reflux. Okay, so one time he got so bad acid reflux, which was 2 a.m., that we all thought he had COVID. That was during COVID. And we all thought he had COVID. The children all woke up with a start because he was coughing vigorously. And then my son and my daughter all woke up and said, is daddy okay? So luckily we have a powerful wand, right? So my boy got the hot water while I did the aura cleansing, Ida Pingala, and then healed the physical stomach and the place where he's getting the acid reflux. He drank the hot water, and then it was okay. Then he was able to go back to sleep, because we all have school next day. So that day, so we all went to sleep as well. But then it was pretty scary to actually to see that someone has like, that bad acid reflux. So after that, he decided, okay, he doesn't want this kind of thing, right? So he monitors his food. He will not eat anything spicy at dinner time. That means nothing. After 5, he will not eat anything already, right? And he only will eat light food, not anything spicy or or maybe drink a soup or something like that only. All right. So now he doesn't have all these. So when you change your food, and then your body will also start reacting to the change and start working better for you, right? So it's important. So here, people with continuous acid reflux, you can heal. So heal often. Don't heal once and say, I'm done, right? You may need to heal every 2 hours. After that, the condition becomes better. Then heal daily once or twice, at least. No, don't stop healing, right? So heal the phleuritis sphincter and the hernia in the affected area as well. So all these are connected and all. Yeah. Okay, and then healing with the PVH wand, with the PVH protocol. So healing wand become as powerful as required to heal the pain of the esophagus area where I'm touching. So you yourself will know exactly where the acid reflux is coming. So you can touch that area where it's coming and then heal. Okay, very effective. We had also one person who was about 80 plus, who was having that, and we all did at the same time, and including himself, and he felt better, right? So healing won't become as powerful as required to heal the esophageal splinter. So you want to strengthen your splinter muscle as well, right? So you can heal the muscle, right? Daily when you are doing your healing, so you just do heal together, right? Healing won't become as powerful as to heal the ulcer in the stomach. So sometimes when constant acidic food or too much of spices and chili and all that, it may cause ulcer for some people when the stomach is not able to manage, right? And then it's important to heal, right? Because sometimes the doctors can't do anything. It's just like having a wound on your hand. And imagine you put some chili, or you put some spice, or you put some even garlic or onion, even that little juice or whatever that touches, it's already burning. So imagine in the stomach when there's ulcer, there's blood, right? Which is like it's open wound. So how painful it will be, right? So it's important that we heal and don't come to this stage as well, right? So healing won't become as powerful as required to heal the acid reflux where I'm touching. That's also, you can do that, right? So you know the acid reflux is coming, or someone who's got very frequent acid reflux, heal immediately before eating, heal your physical stomach. After eating, heal your stomach, and then also do the acid reflux where I'm touching and all that, or heal the esophageal splinter and all that. Now the wand can heal so many, right? We have like 3 wands, and the 3 wands can heal 6 organs or 6 chakras. So do use it, and you can start healing physical stomach, esophageal splinter, heal the the acid reflux and all that. So put it together and then heal, so that you can have a better, you know.
对这些 science 的这些
Okay, now we're going to watch this video. Okay, this is more like the adult video. And it's very interesting how it shows how the acid actually gets thrown out. And all. Shweta, yes, Shweta?
Yeah, I wanted to share something in addition
Please.
to what you just said. Um, this last weekend, I drank something that I did not know was going to be very acidic for my stomach. So while I also did physical things like eating like a whole cumin and all that, I took the wand and said, healing wand, burn away and blaze away all the acidity in whatever is still in my stomach and transmute it into light. And it was miraculous, like it started coming down. So
Wonderful.
because it was still in my stomach, so I just thought I'll try, and it worked.
Wow. See, excellent. Thank you for the sharing. Yeah, everyone take note of that. So you see, we have a wand that is readily there. Carry it along with you, okay? Be with it. It's always in our bags, right? So always have it with you, so that anytime you feel anything, you can actually go to the toilet or go to your workspace, your room and all that. Just heal, right? Do not be shy or anything, right? Just do that. And then, so we have something in hand. It's like American Express. Never leave home without it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Shweta, for sharing.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, let's watch this.
digest
Okay, sorry.
Digestion begins the moment you take a bite. Food is shuttled from the mouth to the stomach via the esophagus, a ride that will take about 5 to 8 seconds. The peristalsis is the involuntary muscular force that propels food through the digestive tract. It almost looks like an ocean wave pushing food from one organ to the next. When food reaches the end of your esophagus, a ring-like muscle called the lower esophageal sphincter relaxes and lets the food pass into your stomach. Weakness of the sphincter causes a backflux of stomach acid and heartburn.
This is what we spoke about earlier, right? So there is a flap that actually stops all this from going in. But because sometimes it weakens and it's not function, it's wear and tear kind of thing. So sometimes that happens for the acid to bounce back, reflux back.
The stomach is where the real action begins. Digestive juices and enzymes break down the food that you swallowed. This helps make nutrients available for absorption later in the small intestine. The digestive juices are powerful hydrochloric acids that kill pathogens in food and gives the stomach the low pH digestive enzymes need. This acid could literally dissolve most of the other organs in your body. Luckily, your stomach contains a thick mucus lining. However, when there's too much acid in the stomach, it can eat away the inner surface of the stomach, causing an ulcer. The process of digestion takes longer for some types of food than others. Simple carbohydrates, such as an energy drink, break down the fastest. This explains why many recommend energy drinks for a quick energy boost. Proteins take longer to digest, and fats take the longest time of all. The stomach slowly empties its contents into your small intestine. The muscles of the small intestine mix food with digestive juices from the pancreas, liver, and intestine, and push the mixture forward for further digestion. The walls of the small intestine are covered by tiny finger-like projections called villi.
Amazing, isn't it? This is all in our stomach, yeah? Where you see all these villi are there, right? In the small intestines.
These projections increase the surface area through which nutrients can be absorbed into your bloodstream. As peristalsis continues, the waste products of the digestive process move into the large intestine. The large intestine is named for the diameter of the cavity, not for its length. It is actually much shorter than the small intestine. Its role is to absorb any extra water from the digested material before it is finally excreted. If food passes through too quickly, too little water is absorbed, and you might have diarrhea. If it passes too slowly, your body absorbs too much water, and you may become constipated. It takes about 30 hours for food to move through the large intestine. All in all, the whole process, from the time you swallow food to the time it leaves your body as feces, takes about 2 to 4 days. Solid waste is characteristically brown and stinky. Do you know what causes its odor? If you guessed that bacteria are involved, you'd be right. Microbes that reside in the large intestine make a meal of the leftovers from the small intestine. The smell associated with stool comes from the gases released by bacteria. The large intestine then empties its contents into the rectum. Its job is to let you know that there is a stool to be evacuated, and to hold the stool until the evacuation happens. Thank you for watching this video.
Gut health నుంచి.
Hello, Chitra.
Hello, Uma. You try to
Can
mute,
you please share this video in our group?
No, I will.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Usually after the whole entire, I will send in a nutshell what.
India.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, it's very good. Can you replay it again? We can watch once more.
Oh, really? Okay, no problem. I'll do that. Someone is Can you mute yourself? Let me see. I can't find the person. Okay.
Hello, please mute your phones. It's causing disturbance.
And I can't find it. Okay, let's see who's unmuted. Mute. Okay. I don't want to mute all. If not, y'all cannot even open your mouth to talk anything, you know. So then, yeah. So that's why I cannot. Yeah. Okay, now let's watch this video. Okay.
Digestion begins the moment you take a bite. Food is shuttled from the mouth to the stomach via the esophagus, a ride that will take about 5 to 8 seconds. The peristalsis is the involuntary muscular force that propels food through the digestive tract. It almost looks like an ocean wave pushing food from one organ to the next. When food reaches the end of your esophagus, a ring-like muscle called the lower esophageal sphincter relaxes and lets the food pass into your stomach. Weakness of the sphincter causes a backflux of stomach acid and heartburn. The stomach is where the real action begins. Digestive juices and enzymes break down the food that you swallowed. This helps make nutrients available for absorption later in the small intestine. The digestive juices are powerful hydrochloric acids that kill pathogens in food and gives the stomach the low pH digestive enzymes need. This acid could literally dissolve most of the other organs in your body. Luckily, your stomach contains a thick mucus lining. However, when there's too much acid in the stomach, it can eat away the inner surface of the stomach, causing an ulcer. The process of digestion takes longer for some types of food than others. Simple carbohydrates, such as an energy drink, break down the fastest. This explains why many recommend energy drinks for a quick energy boost. Proteins take longer to digest, and fats take the longest time of all. The stomach slowly empties its contents into your small intestine. The muscles of the small intestine mix food with digestive juices from the pancreas, liver, and intestine, and push the mixture forward for further digestion. The walls of the small intestine are covered by tiny finger-like projections called villi. These projections increase the surface area through which nutrients can be absorbed into your bloodstream. As peristalsis continues, the waste products of the digestive process move into the large intestine. The large intestine is named for the diameter of the cavity, not for its length. It is actually much shorter than the small intestine. Its role is to absorb any extra water from the digested material before it is finally excreted. If food passes through too quickly, too little water is absorbed, and you might have diarrhea. If it passes too slowly, your body absorbs too much water, and you may become constipated. It takes about 30 hours for food to move through the large intestine. All in all, the whole process, from the time you swallow food to the time it leaves your body as feces, takes about 2 to 4 days. Solid waste is characteristically brown and stinky. Do you know what causes its odor? If you guessed that bacteria are involved, you'd be right. Microbes that reside in the large intestine make a meal of the leftovers from the small intestine. The smell associated with stool comes from the gases released by bacteria. The large intestine then empties its contents into the rectum. Its job is to let you know that there is a stool to be evacuated, and to hold the stool until the evacuation happens. Thank you for watching this video.
Okay, later on we will share it.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, yeah, it's an interesting video, right? Because it shows exactly what happens in our whole entire system. Right? Okay, let me just get
Yes, Chitra, it's a very beautiful video to watch again and again.
So we when we know what we are putting in and how it's going through, see so much of amazing, cells are there, and villi and all of them are doing so many things. So it's very important that we take care of ourselves and look after our emotions and all that. Yeah, and
That
yeah,
is wonderful, wonderful for us to know what's happening inside our body.
correct. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
thank
now,
you so much.
no problem. Thank you so much. Okay, so it's very important when our food is wrong. See, medicine is of no use, right? If you put in the wrong food, which is acidic, and it's like, every day eating too much of spice and all that, it is not good, right? So medicine is of no use. But when your food is right, medicine is of no need. You don't even need medicine when the food is right. Remember when in the past, in the olden times, people used to eat food as medicine. But now we are to eat medicine as food really sometimes. Correct? So change your food and lifestyle. So exercise and live a healthy lifestyle. So remember your life and your health is in your hands. So must take charge of it. All right? Because it's so important. It's our body. We can't give this responsibility to someone else when we are in charge of it. Right? So everything is connected. It's like a whole entire factory. Each part of the organ is doing a function or the other. So if one is disrupted, the other is also disrupted. So, and we do not want that to happen, right? Watch this video. It's a very interesting one. It was shared before by someone. So I decided it's very apt for today.
Let's go back to medieval times. During the Middle Ages, people held a strong idea about food. They believed that what they ate affected their mood. So if they were feeling down, they would reach for dates or pears. If they were anxious, it would be chicory or lettuce. But over the years, it seems to have changed. We seem to have lost the idea that food can affect our brain. Today, as a society, we are so used to feeding our bodies that we seldom think of the brain. We connect what we eat with the shape of our waistline. And many of us forget that the same diet feeds one of our biggest organs, the brain. Food alters our brain chemistry. It shapes our thoughts and our actions. You may have heard the saying, you are what you eat. Well, it's true. Decades of research proves it. Your stomach and brain have a connection, and it begins before you're even born. It starts in the womb. The brain and the gut originate from the same cells in the embryo. And as you grow older, this connection only gets stronger, so much so that the gut is called the second brain. Day after day, what you eat is broken down. It turns into nutrients. These nutrients are taken into the bloodstream. They're carried up to the brain. And once there, they become the very fabric of your brain. And this is very crucial. See, our brain works very hard. It works 24 hours a day. Even when we sleep, the brain is active. So it needs a lot of fuel. Our brain makes up only 2% of our body weight, but it uses 20% of our energy. The brain is the hungriest organ. So what we feed it matters. I can give you 3 reasons why. First, because of the mind's physical building blocks, our cells replace continuously. You probably learned this in primary school. But a quick disclaimer, while this is true for most of the body, it does not apply to the brain. A majority of our brain cells stay with us for our entire lives. So if you need high quality brain cells, you need high quality food. Now, healthy food protects your body, you know that. It can protect you from cancer, diabetes, heart disease. It can make you live longer. But it also helps your brain. And this is the second reason. A healthy diet can protect your mind. It can shield your brain from harm. It reduces the risk of stroke. It slows brain aging. It boosts memory. It even reduces the risk of Alzheimer's. This is the same disease that affects 46 million people today. By 2050, it is projected to affect 130 million people. And for the longest time, this projection has seemed inevitable because Alzheimer's is seen as a result of bad genes and aging. But here's what newer research says. The genes may load the gun, but it is the lifestyle that pulls the trigger. 1/3 of all Alzheimer's cases can be prevented if people eat a healthy diet. So there are long-term benefits and short-term ones as well. This brings us to the third reason. Food can affect your mood. It can happen when you don't eat something. For instance, if you have a vitamin B2 deficiency, you are more prone to depression. It can also happen when you eat too much of something. If you eat a lot of processed foods, a lot of sugar, it increases inflammation. This is the root cause of stress and low mood. Yet the world over, 6 out of every 10 people eat junk food regularly, while 9 out of 10 do not eat enough fruits and vegetables. The good thing is, it's never too late to start. Our brain has a fascinating quality. It is plastic. So the way you learn a new language or a new skill, you can train your brain to prefer healthy food, to eat better. And the way new information changes your thoughts, opinions, and actions, healthy food can make you a better version of yourself. So listen to your gut and start feeding your brain right.
Right? It's never too late to change here. So that's important, right? So no need to worry that, oh, I've done all this damage. Is it going to help? No, it's never too late to change, right? So number one most inflammatory food, like for an example, red meat, steaks, hamburgers, fast food, especially, yeah. So these are the ones that causes inflammatory because sometimes your body doesn't need too much of meat. Having the right amount just to give you energy is okay. But eating too much of it, it causes stress on the organs as well, right? Especially your stomach. Okay, processed meat like sausages, bacon, luncheon meat, all these are not good. Commercial baked cakes, right? Because you can bake your own cakes, right? If you bake your own cake, you won't add in certain preservatives and all that. But when you buy from the shop, they want it to last for a few days and or a weeks, right? So then there will be more things added into the cake to withstand the heat and all that, right? So it's good to just bake your own because you will be able to moderate your sugar and the kind of sugar you use and things like that, right? Anyway, too much sugar is not good, right? So you will be able to moderate something. Maybe you can put in more fruits or something that actually the fruits and nuts to make it more tastier. Cookies and brownies, all these are commercially baked ones are not good. White bread and pasta made with white flour is not good. Wholemeal or buckwheat, all these are okay, right? So deep fried food such as your French fries, fried chicken, donuts, all these are, fried chicken maybe because of protein, but because it's fried, it's not so healthy. But French fries and donuts, you might as well get real potatoes and just do it. I remember when I was young, my mother will, once in a while, it's like a treat. Like, if it's a weekend, then she'll just slice the potato and then, sprinkle some turmeric and some salt. And then she will just put it in the oven and then just bake it. Or if not, she'll just fry it for us, So it is like real potato, not the one that is commercially bought French fries, right? So food rich in sugar, candy and jellies and all these are not good. Yeah. Soda, canned teas, tea drinks, sports drinks. Sometimes they are toll on the stomach and your kidneys as well because there's too much of carbon dioxide in there. Trans fat, example, like found in margarine, microwave popcorn, refrigerated biscuits, because when it's refrigerated, the butter that is used in the biscuit will solidify and it becomes more harder for the stomach to digest as well. The dairy creamers, you do not know what kind of chemicals go into the creamers. You might as well put real milk instead of these creamers. Yeah, so these are the things like most inflammatory food. So especially when someone is constantly having stomach issues or acid reflux and all that, you may want to check. Have a little notebook in the beginning to note down what you are eating so that you can see that, okay, I've eaten this for breakfast, I've eaten this for lunch. If breakfast you're fine, then that means it's okay. But if you've eaten something for lunch and something is triggering off, you can actually look at your notebook and trace back. And even tell the doctor if you're visiting one and then what triggered off, and then they can confirm it for you. Yes, Shweta, you put up your hand.
Yes. To your point of processed food, wanted to give you an example. When I had
Cereal also,
started, sorry.
cereals also, right?
Cereals, yes. So I was eating a lot of cereal, and it was from health food store, all healthy, whole wheat stuff. And yet I was getting a lot of body pain. And Shiva sir said, stop eating cereal every day. Once in a while is fine, but he said, like, you don't know what it takes to put it in a box. So he asked me to stop that. And the second thing Shiva sir cautioned against was we might be, when we eat salad from outside, the dressing in the salad has a lot of
Yeah.
vinegar and a lot of salt. So
Yes.
he said, skip the dressing. You can get salad from outside, but like just put oil, salt, as you were saying, like do your own thing, but like not, use store-bought salad dressing.
Right. Yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah, even cereal, I also fell for it, because when
Yes.
sometimes they give so convincing that it's super duper healthy. Now I was thinking like, okay, why not? They have like nuts and cranberries and all the stuff inside. So I also was thinking, But after that, when you go deeper into and you look at, the ingredients that goes in, there are some hidden ingredients that you will be like shocked that, hey, it is not needed by the body.
Yeah, and I don't know if they even tell us everything. Like, I don't know.
Exactly. Because they want to
Right.
preserve it for years, right? For shelf
Yeah.
life. So,
Yep.
yeah. And so make your own salad. But I also read somewhere, and I was reading this particular book, and it also said that it's good not to start with sweet things in the morning. Start with savory. Savory is better because it doesn't spike up your glucose and your insulin and all that. So those who have sugar issue, it's good to eat something that is more savory in the morning rather than to eat something sugary, right? So that also helps. So you see, cereals, most of the time, it has sugar in it. If not, you also won't be able to take it, right? So I remember my father used to take something which was that it has got no taste at all, no sugar, nothing. And I was used to wonder how my father even eats that. But it was very healthy, like, he will put in the milk and he will just take that and then he'll just go to work and all. I don't forgot the name. Yeah, they still sell it in the supermarket, but it has got no sugar. I don't know what is it. Yeah. When I remember the name, I'll let you know, right? But yeah, so it's good not to start with anything sweet, but start with savory and all that. Yeah. So in
Uh,
this one, yes. Oma
so
Devi,
do,
yes.
yes, do let us know what is it. So we are also becoming health conscious.
I mean, even one of my students was eating it. She'll bring it to school and she'll pour milk in it. But it's got no sugar. But the girl would be eating it, which is most delicious food in the world, I'll be like, okay.
So
But then,
Yeah.
when
And
Sivasa
another thing,
visited my place, he asked for sorted vegetables in the morning. So I made
yeah.
chai, and then
Mhm.
I all the different vegetables. I had asparagus, broccoli, green beans, and I just sorted it, and that's what he ate with whole wheat bread, just bread and a little bit of butter.
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
should do. Because the thing is, even the pepper bells, right? They are also very high in vitamin C. So you can actually add on to them, but maybe not for breakfast, maybe for, when before you eat your heavy lunch or something, then you can just have that kind of salad as well. Cucumber to add on. And again, what Shweta said, dressing is very important because sometimes you do not know what are those ingredients in the dressing. They may add on sugar and unnecessary things that it's not necessary for the body. You can eat the vegetable as it is with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of salt to taste and all that. For cucumber, you can just eat it as on its own. I don't know. I'm fine with cucumber eating on its own. Like, yeah. So when I
another
went,
thing, Chitra, I
yes, Uma.
wanted to tell you, even oats, I
Mhm.
don't think, because I did the spleen finger test, I put it and I
Yes,
did on my spleen, and it is not good. For me,
yes,
it's not good.
exactly.
So
Oats,
I don't know, generally oats are good for us or not.
I am also not sure. Maybe it depends again, body to body, right? Different
Mm.
body works differently, right? But the thing
Yeah.
is, I remember doing the spleen arm test for someone, and because the person kept on saying that every single morning the person will eat oats, but the person had so much of health issues. So we did a spleen arm test on the oats, and her hand fell. So I mean, maybe yeah, they say oats are good, right? But maybe moderation of everything is important. Too much of something is also not good for the body. Eating
Yeah.
oats every single day may not be good, but it's also showed that it's a bit acidic as well. So depending on the person's structure and the stomach and all that, how much it can actually work on and all that. Yeah.
So another thing, we can do our spleen arm test or either spleen finger test to know that what food that we can take, we can consume.
Yes, because even fruits, right? What one fruit may be good for one person may not be good for another. Someone may,
Yeah.
but banana may not be good for another person who's got sugar, or things like that. So it all depends. On someone who's high in potassium may not be good too much of banana because they can only eat half a banana. It all depends on individual bodies, and so that's why the spleen arm test is amazing because it helps us to But then, the finger one, right? Sometimes it's our mind also playing a part. Hey, this is good for me, this is good for me, because you feel like eating it. And then, so yeah. But again, don't feel deprived. If you need that one day, it's okay. But don't take it daily. Then, because if you deprive it, it's also like it's going to affect because your thought is there. I feel like eating that and I'm not able to eat. You put that thought, right? Then it also affects your stomach anyway. So it's good to taste a little and then, don't eat it after that. Just for the taste of the
Um,
mouth.
Another thing, Chitra, I did was learning in the sleep. I asked the guides to help me to whatever food that is good for me and my soul. And I don't like to take coffee. I've already stopped coffee.
Brilliant. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Yes,
a very
I didn't do even the blaze away and burn away. I just did it in the sleep, and suddenly I don't have the liking for coffee. Even tea also I stopped.
yes. See, so
Congratulations.
Yeah,
yeah,
thank you.
learning it. Very good, Uma. Thank you. Yeah, because you see, you can learn anything in the sleep. People ask me what to learn, what to learn. See, you can learn what food suits you and what doesn't.
Yes,
Yeah. So
thank
thank you.
you, thank you,
Wonderful.
thank you.
Okay, signs that gut health may be poor. Okay, sometimes constant bloating and indigestion. So the gut problems create digestive troubles after most meals, right? And sometimes bloating happens is also because the enzymes in the body are not working properly as well. So we have later we'll be touching on microbes and you will see why. Fatigue and brain fog, right? So again, the gut health is very important. Our gut and our brain work together. That's why when children go for exam, it's important what they eat because so that they can think properly and all that. Some food may not be good for them because it clogs up the brain when they are, brain fog. So when they are sitting for exams, it might not be good. So then nuts are good for them, just something that is light, but just to fill them up. So that may be good and all that. Sugar craving, frequent sugar craving, it also shows, evidence of poor gut health, right? So skin issues, the acne, eczema, rashes. So again, every disease that begins, right, it all starts with the gut. Not every, but most of the diseases, if you look at it, it starts with the gut. You clean your gut, everything else falls in place. So that's very important. Okay, so it's very important to have know those who have this issue like eczema or frequent gut inflammation or like acid reflux. It's good to write down in a small notebook or whatever to see what food you are eating and what causes, what triggers. So you have a rough this thing because sometimes we think today's food, tomorrow you might not remember what you have eaten. But writing it down and to monitor it, you will be able to. And then after that, like what Shweta did, you burn a blaze away and disintegrate and then remove all this energy of acidity from from your gut and your stomach. So then it starts healing as well. Okay, so it also weakens your immunity when your gut health is poor. So remember, 70% of the system lives in the gut. Yeah. Unmute Marina. Okay, so 70% of your immune system, it lives in the gut and all that. So remember, another important nerve is vagus nerve. Okay, because it's also connected to our stomach as well. So vagus nerve is from the brain to the stomach. Vagus nerve is one of the biggest nerve connecting to the gut and the stomach and the brain, I mean. So it sends signal in both directions, right? So the signal sent through the vagus nerve can also cause gastrointestinal problems, intestinal problems. So it's important to heal our vagus nerve as well, like, a part of the healing process. The vagus nerve intervenes the stomach, regulating digestion, gastric acid secretion, and also signaling fullness, influencing overall gastrointestinal. So vagus nerve send messages. So the more we heal our vagus nerve as part of our daily healing, you can see that your stomach issues gets better, right? It will not have too much of the gut issues and all that. So vagus nerve plays an important role, right? And here, the vagus and the gut function. If the vagus nerve fails, right, acid will go to the brain and cause migraine or head pain. So when people say they have a pain in the head, we request them to heal the stomach and immediately the pain becomes zero, right? In Sir's workshop, you have seen, we've also done that same. I've also done that for my boy. When the stomach issue is serious, heal the vagus nerve. Shweta, you want to say something, Shweta?
Actually, I had a question for you.
Yes, please.
It was about healing the vagus nerve. So in the daily healing, there is a process for just healing your nervous system. Does it
Yes.
include the vagus nerve, or do we say healing for vagus nerve separately?
No, you can heal together with the vagus nerve. That means you can actually heal your backhead chakra, then your vagus
Mm-hmm.
nerve, your stem cells. All that can be actually all done together.
Okay, so it's good to say vagus nerve distinctly.
Yes. Yes,
I see.
distinctly.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Thank
Vagus
you.
nerve, it's a nerve that we have not given much emphasis on. But vagus nerve is very, very important. There are people with, sometimes they have to go for surgery and they have to actually, cut a little bit of their vagus nerve to connect to the gut.
Oh, wow. Mm.
Yeah, sometimes, because, so it's important that we heal our vagus nerve.
Okay,
Chitra,
thank you.
can I add a little bit about the vagus nerve?
Yeah, please.
So, yeah, vagus nerve, like Chitra madam has told, is the only nerve that connects with every important organ in our body. And why the vagus nerve is not functioning well, either it can be because of too much acid in your blood system, or it could be too much of cortisol. Cortisol releases when you are highly stressed. It can be because of your family issues, work related, or generally personal, emotional issues. So cortisol hinders the vagus nerve function. So every day, if you can heal your vagus nerve, indirectly all the organs are also connected. So you do a lot better, because the calming of the vagus nerve can calm your whole system and balance your whole system. It's the most important. Like when you're, like Shweta madam just asked, when you're healing your nervous system, you are usually healing your autonomous nervous system and your central nervous system. Vagus nerve is a very different nerve which connects your brain to all the organs. All the other nerves have their different functions, but keeping the vagus nerve healthy and calm is the most important thing. So even if you get to heal your vagus nerve 2 to 3 times a day, basically it will calm you, and the cortisol, the stress that you are going through, will also be taken care of.
Wow.
Because when you
Thank
are
you.
taking, when you are stressed out, there are so many chemicals released. You like we just saw the video where there's hydrochloric acid in the stomach for digestion of the food. But when you are stressed, there are so many different types of chemicals. Like you have fear, a different chemical releases. You have anger, a different chemical. So every emotion releases a different sort of chemical in our body, and these chemicals tend to get stuck somewhere, usually our joints. And people who are very emotional and not, they have too much of fear and all these things, you tend to see they have lot of joint pains and arthritis and things like that. Yes, diet is also one part, but other than that, yes, this. And one more thing I wanted to add was about the stomach lining that we were talking about, what was told in a little before this. The stomach lining is so amazing. Your body makes a new stomach lining every 5 days.
Wow.
So, but why is it that people are having acidity? Isn't it? This is one big question. If your body, like how your cells are being regenerated, your stomach lining also is being regenerated every 5 days. But what is happening when you are eating too much of highly acidic food? And see, now I'm working with one doctor who is, working along with him. We are doing some research where he's trying to find out what could be the real issue, why scientifically why autism happens. So he's come to some conclusions, and but see, as usual, because the pharma mafia is so big, he is unable to put his papers in the open. So there, that is where I have what he has found out was, the gut, which is so important, is formed when we are in the womb of the mother. If the mother's amniotic fluid is devoid of certain amount of bioenzymes, that is when most of the autistic children have very weak gut. When the bioenzymes that are required to function in the gut are not proper, certain release of chemicals, this is a scientific explanation. Now, sir has a totally different this thing. Yes, but when we take PVH a little bit with science, your understanding will be much better. So that you will be, I'm just explaining this to you because we have a wider, knowledge about what can be healed in such cases. So these bioenzymes are being injected into autism children. The research is still going on to see how it works. And this doctor who has an autistic child started doing this research, and he is helping people who have autistic children hereditary in their families. The mothers, to be mothers, can be given these bioenzymes during pregnancy and the amniotic fluid, and he is given 100% rate of success in what he's doing. So see, somewhere maybe this happens because every mother is not going to him. Somewhere when I start thinking, no, but in PVH we are learning this, then I start thinking maybe there are people who have balanced their karmas. That is the reason they go to that doctor. Like how Dr. Manikantan in PVH, the moment the child is born, sends the picture to sir, and once he senses there are some souls, so he gets them healed. There are few people who are lucky enough, who have balanced their karmas, who need to break that cycle, who are come to break that karmic cycle in the family. Maybe such people get such help. So this gut and the villi also, like many people have so many deficiencies of minerals or vitamins and all these things, but my take on this is, how much ever supplements you take, your body is not able to absorb those vitamins and minerals. So the more supplements that you are taking, you are putting a lot of pressure on the kidneys. First, heal from the root. Start people who have these deficiencies. Please heal your villi. Because when you're eating refined food, what happens is it makes a lining on the villi where too much of fat and refined food together they form a paste sort of thing, and your villi gets hidden. So there is no proper absorption of whatever you're taking. Even if you're taking supplements, your liver and your kidneys are having to throw them out, which you're burdening them a lot. So these things you keep in mind, your diet and what you heal, it makes a lot of difference. In PVH, the wand works wonders, and whether you have knowledge of anatomy or not, you give an instruction, it is healing. People don't even know where the pancreas. Earlier classes, when sir used to ask, where are your pancreas? People would not know about it. Now there is more knowledge because you have Google to search and do all these things. But anatomy is such one thing. When you are perfect with anatomy, you know the anatomy of the body, what to heal, why this is happening. When you learn physiology, then you know why this is not happening. So anatomy and physiology together can, whether you know any subject or not, I think every human being, every child, instead of buying them all books with love stories and things like that, you buy books that can teach them more about anatomy and physiology, because every human being needs to know their body very well. We are so lucky, PVH, and like in India, Reema madam, and there are some other teachers who are conducting, and Chitra madam from Singapore, she is conducting. We are getting to know so much, because otherwise we don't even know heal your digestive system. But when you're doing specific healing, what happens? No, the result is faster. So this is what I would listen. So your villi, your gut, people who have digestive issues, heal your gut as much as possible. Heal whatever bioenzymes are lacking in my gut. Heal that. Support that. This I started doing from the time I have been with this person who's doing research. I started healing my nephew that way. And it is helping quite. It's not an easy task to heal autistic children. It takes a very long time, because you are fighting with the karma also, trying to neutralize that, which very easily happens with PVH. So I have started doing it, and I find quite a bit of improvement. Unfortunately, I cannot heal him as much I should be, maybe 5-6 times a day, because of my own responsibilities. But yeah, anyone who have autistic children, you please guide them this way. That will give a lot of clarity to them. And these chemicals that are released because of our emotions and because of our thoughts, also we have to deal with. So burn, blaze away, and disintegrate when you're doing the negative emotions, negative thoughts, and whatever is stored. We are storing all this memory in our body at some level. So भैया थोड़ा आप आपका ये म्यूट करेंगे क्या? Please mute your device. So this is what we need to do. Right? And yeah, further any questions come up, I can add more. Thank you, Chitra.
You, Nivedita. Thank you. That was
Thank you.
Hello, Madam Nivita. Just now
Yeah.
you are telling heal whatever memories that we have stored in the body.
Unwanted memories. Unwanted memories.
blaze away and burn
In
away.
the-
Yeah. Unwanted memories, blaze away and burn away.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's very important. Negative emotions and stress have a direct impact on our digestive system, right?
Yeah.
Because the gut is where our emotion meets the digestion. So now the body is supposed to do digesting the food. Now we throw in emotion. Now the body is thinking, hey, what do I do now? Do I digest the food, or do I handle the stress that the person is going through? You know what I mean? So it's like you're giving dual role unnecessarily, and the body after a while doesn't know. It gets mixed and confused and all that. So remember, the digestive system is called our second brain, not for anything, right? Not for fun, right? There's a vast network again of nervous system, like what Madam Nivedita was saying. There's a lot of neurons that is actually connected to the walls of our gastrointestinal tract, right? So with the brain. So this connection means that our thoughts and our emotions can directly affect our gut function, right? So, every time burn and blaze away, later we're going to do that too. So because when we get stressed, anxious, or even overwhelmed with fear, our body enters a state of fight or flight, right? And then unnecessary cortisol is actually produced, which we have seen before under the limbic system when we do, right? So in this mode, right, what will happen is it will actually the nervous system will start diverting the energy away from digestion to focus on the perceived danger. So this slows down the whole entire process of digestion, causing cramping, bloating, or even trigger conditions like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and all that. Because of too much of stress, the body is not able to cope, and with a lot of food taken, it's not able to digest as well. not able to do dual sometimes because of over stress that is thrown into the body, right? So negative thinking and unresolved emotions, it can cause tension and throw the balance of the gut bacteria, leading to inflammation and weakening of our immune system, which largely resides in the gut. So Madam Navigator said it in such a brilliantly beautiful way, right? So over time, a mind dominated with stress and negativity can create chronic imbalance, right, in our digestive system. So only diet, sometimes no diet can fix that if we don't manage our stress and emotions. So it's not just about what we eat, but sometimes it's important what we think and feel while we eat and how we live, right? A peaceful mind supports a healthy gut, and happiness and joy and always showing gratitude allows the digestive system to function smoothly, right? So it's important. Just like one of the book that I was reading by this lady, by Candice Pert. We have it here. It was very interesting. Let me just by this lady. She talks about the molecules of emotions. So the book title is that Molecules of Emotion, and actually it talks about the how the small protein molecules are actually released by the neurons in the brain and the nervous system. So the emotional messages are not just in your brain, but they are everywhere in your stomach, your heart, your skin, and even your immune system. Right. So that is why we can feel emotions in your, sometimes you feel emotions in your stomach. You feel butterflies in your stomach when you're nervous. Like if you have to go up the stage and do a presentation or, do something, you feel a bit nervous the night before or even on the day itself, right? Because you got butterflies in your stomach. So your body remembers emotions, even if your brain forgets, but the body will remember. So that is why the emotional stress can actually make you feel sick or tense. So these are receptors that actually, like, these keys fit into the special lock on your cells called receptors. So when the right lock, it sends the right messages, like I'm happy or I'm scared or I'm stressed, immediately the gut and the brain will start reacting to each other. So our body and mind are always talking to each other. So taking care of our mental health, like stress and grief or joy, helps our body to heal and to stay healthy as well. So emotions are not just in our head. They are real, physical, and can be powerful sometimes if you do not manage them, right? So that's our gut and brain functioning. Mhm. Yeah, so that one, I think we have already touched on that. So pH healing, so healing of the mouth and esophagus, do aura cleansing, ida pingala, read forgiveness for the bacteria as required. So heal and condition solar plexus and stomach, sometimes even mouth chakra because of the salivary gland. You need enzymes to actually start the digestion process moving. Some people have dry mouth, right? So then they don't have enough saliva. And it could be due to age or it could be due to certain conditions, so health conditions, so or certain medicine that could actually trigger that off. So it's good to heal the mouth chakra as well. Do bed yoga or chair yoga, especially the mouth, tongue, and facial exercises. When you do, it actually helps to ease the process as well. So heal your esophagus, heal the stomach first, touch the pain area at the esophagus and heal, right? And also to touch where the acid reflux is and all that. There's another one more thing here. Okay, I saw this. It's called autophagy roll. So it's a deep cleansing process. So one of these Japanese scientists actually found this. When the body is hungry, it begins a deep cleansing process. It literally eats itself, but in a good way, right? So this is called autophagy. So a natural sort of like mechanism where the body breaks down and removes the old and damaged dysfunctional cells, right? Including those linked to aging, cancer, Alzheimer's, and all that. So it starts eating itself, right? So in 2016, this doctor, Yoshinori, okay, won the Nobel Prize for discovering this mechanism called autophagy. So this study showed that the fasting promotes stem cells regeneration and cellular repair. So it is not bad to fast. So, if you're eating like one whole week of food, right? So one day of fasting is not going to kill your body. So one day of fasting, not eating anything, it actually helps your body to actually get better and all that. Because the body has enough fats to actually
That is
yes. Sorry. Mute. All right. So there are things like this that you can actually fast, which will help the cell to repair. So research also shows that the cell metabolism, right? That, when you do intermittent fasting or just normal fasting, like liver flush, before that you do water fast, right? And all that, actually it reduces inflammation and also improves the brain function. And it's discovered in mice, right? So normally they do all this in mice before they do it on humans. So sometimes not eating is exactly what the body needs to heal, right? Once in a while, the stomach needs a rest. The whole entire organs and the body needs a rest because we have been putting food, like, keep on eating, and the body is keep on digesting it's tired. So once in a while, without, not eating, half a day fast or something, it actually does a lot of good, right? So there is one there. Okay, the gut and the brain. So our gut and the brain is our gut is our second brain, right? So it consists of good bacteria and bad bacteria in our guts. It controls the signal of our first brain, including whatever that influences the food craving. So even though our mouth may drool, right? But the thing is when we have good gut bacteria, it will actually send the right thoughts that we want to eat and all that. But if you have more bad bacteria in the gut, right, it will send cravings, unnecessary sugar cravings and unwanted food cravings, which actually influences the brain to think that you need those food and all that. So they work intermittently, they work together and all that. Yeah. So the brain and the gut are connected physically through millions of nerves. So in our brain itself and our whole entire nervous system, our body, everything, there's lots of nerves. There's more than trillion cells and trillion nerves. Okay, they're connected to do something or the other. And most importantly, through the vagus nerve, they're connected, right? So the gut and the microbes also control the inflammation, which sometimes actually affect the brain health. So sometimes you want to, sometimes when you don't eat, you can actually think better. Sometimes I'm not telling you to don't eat, not telling you to starve, but you should know your own body. And, when you think that your body can afford not to eat that food, so you can just choose not to eat it, right? And then, yeah, eat when it's necessary as well. So sometimes you don't need food all the time, right? So the main connection point between the gut and the brain, like 95% of serotonin is found in the gut. So your happy hormones are actually produced in the gut itself, right? Serotonin is produced in the gut and all that. But if your gut is already struggling, so how will your body be? How will it produce the happy hormones, right? It will not, isn't it? When you're stressed and all that, you will feel like, it's more like, you feel more threatened and all that. So it doesn't produce the necessary hormones that is needed for the body. Okay, and there's this video to watch.
At the worst moment,
Sorry,
get fast relief with nerve.
advertisement.
Research shows that the gut microbiome affects a lot of how we experience our daily.
Okay. So remember, the gut microbes are very important because when we are eating, we're actually feeding the microbes, right? So when we are feeding the microbes are the ones that are feeding the body. So remember, the microbes are influencing our body. We are not feeding the body, but feeding the microbes itself. That's the most important part. So what do we need to feed the microbes in order to have a healthy body? And what we eat and feed the body will also kind of influence the kind of microbes that will influence our sleep patterns, our behavior, our vitamins and minerals that get secreted into our bloodstream. So remember, we are eating for the microbes. Watch this.
Daily lives. Emotions, weight, brain functioning, even our food choices. But how does it work?
The gut microbiome is a collection of trillions of microbes, or microscopic organisms. These microbes, like bacteria and fungi, live in your digestive tract, mostly in your large intestine. Digestion is just your body taking raw materials, food, and turning it into something it can use.
Nice crust.
Digestion makes glucose, which runs your brain and muscles. It also enables your body's messengers like hormones and neurotransmitters. Your digestive system is a factory for turning food into fuel, and your microbes are its workers. And what you get out of it depends a lot on the quality of what you put into it. Gut microbes have their own genes, which affect the way your human genes act. There are about 20 to 25,000 different human genes that make up your body. Sounds like a lot. But there are millions of different microbe genes inside of you that influence how your human genes act. In some studies, the microbiomes of healthy mice were transplanted into stressed mice. The stressed mice then showed fewer anxiety symptoms. Fruit flies with particular bacterial species in their microbiomes ate more protein. When researchers changed the flies' microbiomes, the flies ate more sugar. In one study, researchers found that many elite athletes have a group of bacteria that helps break down lactate and could help performance and recovery. When these bacteria were transplanted into mice, the mice's treadmill performance increased. And this is all great news, because you can't change your genes, but you can change your microbiome for the better. And one of the quickest ways to do that is through food. There are immeasurable other factors that influence your gut microbiome: where you live, sleep, exercise, stress. But what your body makes and what kind of microbes your gut has depend a lot on the food you eat. You can change your microbiome and potentially your daily experiences and long-term health through food. Recent technology makes it possible to test your gut microbiome at home to get a peek at what's living inside you. But is gut microbiome testing worth it? In the next episode, we'll take a look. For the Washington Post, I'm Mary.
So microbes are very, very important, right? Think of it like a garden, right? When we go out to the garden, so the more good microorganisms are like the beneficial plants, right? That help the plants grow and, flourish and all that. So that's also the same, how our body will also function well. So when we have good microorganisms, right? But bad microorganisms are like weeds, how they kill the plants, take away all the nutrients and all that. The same thing it does to our body system as well. So if we have bad microorganisms, right, they can also actually take away our nutrients, and the nutrients doesn't get through our, transported or circulated through the blood system, right? So factors like diet, lifestyle, environment can affect this balance, and of course, emotions and stress. So think of microbiomes, right? Like helpers in our gut, right? That make digestion smoother and more efficient. So when our microbiome is healthy, our digestion works better, and we also feel better overall. You feel more energetic, right? And all that. You have more energy, you feel more positive and all that, because our cells are working together. Because remember, whatever we are eating is for the microbiomes, right? So the microbes also refer to the individual microorganisms, such as your bacteria, virus, fungi, and other existence in a particular environment, which is all found in our intestine and stomach and all that. So whereas on the other hand, it also refers to the microbes and their genes that live in a specific environment. They need that kind of temperature, they need that kind of environment, like on our gut and our skin. So they work as community together. So think of it like a forest, yeah? In the forest, like, microbes are individual trees, but microbiomes is the entire forest, the ecosystem, including all the trees, the plants, and how they interact with each other. So that's how it works, right? So it's very important. So we want our plant in us to flourish. That is important. Remember, when one has diarrhea, even when one has severe diarrhea and all that, you lose a lot of your microbes and microbiomes, right? So diarrhea can lead to a loss of microbes and all that. And also it disrupts the balance of the microbiome on the gut. I remember when my boy had severe diarrhea a few weeks ago. And what happened was, like, the doctor did say that, oh, he has actually, because he went to doctor seeing after 5 days. So then the doctor was saying, oh, you've lost a lot of your microbes, and it's important to build them up again after when it gets better. So, and then, so these are important because our gut needs a balance. So diarrhea can actually cause a loss and disrupt the balance of this in our gut, right? When this happens, it flushes out. Diarrhea actually flushes out both good and bad microbes from the gut, which is what is needed for the body to function and the gut to, to help and all that. The imbalance of the microbes, right, can be disrupted, leading to temporary reduction in the beneficial microbes as well. So the body can often recover and rebalance its microbiome over time. To start recovery, you need to stay hydrated. You need some probiotics that actually helps to boost your own microbes again, and blend diet, not too, no fried food, no, too salty or sugary food and all that. No, right? So you build up your own microbiomes, and then after that, get back on track. So they can be built again. That's the beauty of our body. It can be built with positive mindset and all that. So if too much of negative emotions and stress and all that, it actually throws your body out of balance. So that's what Madam Nivedita was saying. Cortisol, when too much cortisol is built up, then your body is not able to manage. Is it going to do the normal function of the digestive system, or is it going to manage your stress level, right? Imagine your body, for an example, is like a big company, and all your cells are the workers. So your brain is the boss, constantly sending out messages like emails or announcements saying that, hey, keep sending, we are in danger, we need help, things are bad, times are bad, whatever. They keep on sending negative, announcement or information all the time. The worker cells get really stressed. They will stop doing all their regular job and like repairing tissues or fighting off illness. Instead, start focusing on the emergency mode, right? And if this happens too many times or keeps happening, your health will suffer, right? So, but if the boss, which is our cell, right? Cells sense that, sense sending out positive or calm messages like, we are safe, things are going well. And then the worker cells will start relaxing and get back to their normal job and keep us healthy and strong. So what actually Bruce Lipton will say is, right, if we work on our thoughts and belief, making them more positive and empower ourselves, we can actually change our body functions down to cellular level. So everything belongs to our thought form. So our health is literally in our hands, okay? Because what we think is what we get. So if we have positive thoughts and we believe that our body can heal, and we do the right thing and, put our emotions at bay and all that, everything starts getting back on track, right? So it's important because in many ways, disease are often begins in the mind, right? And our thoughts and emotions and stress level shape our physical well-being also, right? So some diseases originate in the mind, and sometimes it takes that to, manifest itself as well. Shweta, yes, Shweta?
Yeah, I have some lessons to share. I was diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome, and I had done this gut microbiome tests. I had done it twice. It was both in my small intestine and large intestine, different bacteria. And what I'd learned was you need good bacteria, and there could be bad bacteria overgrowth. So
Yes.
when I started, like I had done my herbal treatments, whatever, and the diet changes. But when I started with PVH, I also used the cell page and the virus and bacteria page. And the bacteria page I used for both the bad bacteria to go and the good bacteria to come to me. So I use that a lot. I did many other things, but now I'm much better.
Yes, that's right. It's wonderful, isn't it? Yeah, actually, our cells are very important. So every time when we show gratitude to ourselves, ask for forgiveness for all the wrong things that we have done, our cells will actually start reacting and start changing as well.
I
Yeah.
have a question based on what Madam said just now. How did she use the affirmation to make the good bacteria to invite the good bacteria towards you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm going to open the page. Just one sec. because there was specific language I used. So I would read the page twice. So when it comes time to all the active name of microbe in my body, so I would say to all the active bad bacteria in my body, and those I will ask, I'll just read as it is stated. But when I wanted the good bacteria to be there, so I said, to all the good bacteria in my body, I'm asking for forgiveness. I will not ask them to go away, but instead I said, please stay with me and increase, please be here, I need you, and please be here and increase in my body so that I can function properly. I need you and I thank you. So that's the language I use. So I modified the language a little bit. Did that make sense?
Do you say in
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay,
in and out
thank
of
you.
the body? Shweta, do you say that the bacteria in and out of my body, or the microbes in and out of my body?
In my body, only in my body. So I said it twice. So the first half of the page I read for both. Second half of the page I read 2 times. First time for the bad bacteria that I wanted to go back to earth. So all the bad gut bacteria that are not useful to me, right? Those I wanted them to go back to Mother Earth. So I read the page as it is stated. The second time, then I would start the half of the page to say, all the good bacteria in my body, in my gut, I'm asking you to forgive me, but please be with me and please increase. Stay with me and please forgive me and stay with me and please increase. So that's the language I use. So I would read the second half of the page twice.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
maybe
you.
even you can put the wand at your Ajna Chakra and also tell your gut to produce whatever bacteria is required for my good health.
Yeah.
Maybe you can
Yeah.
do that also.
Why don't
Yeah, I
we
was
guide
new at that. Yeah. Yeah.
Nivedita and Shweta? Let's do that now. Like, everyone get your wands and follow what they're saying. Madam Nivedita and Shweta.
Mm. I'm
Healing
going to
wand.
read the page, the whole. Oh, do you want to do the with the wand, Chitra madam? Do you want to do it or Nivedita madam?
Yeah, one
Because
of
I
you
don't
do
have.
it.
Okay, I don't have the words in. I have to read the words.
No. You want me to read the cells, is it?
No, the bacteria page.
Okay, right. Okay, I can read the bacteria page, and then then later on we can guide on the burning and blazing away and throwing it out of your system.
Yeah, can I read the bacteria page exactly the way I did it?
Sure, no problem. We can all have our
Okay.
wands.
Yeah,
and then
yes. Everybody hold the wand, but just follow the language, or those who want to use it, please pick up the book so you will see where I'm modifying. To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to my higher soul, to all virus and bacteria in and out of my body, to all the spiritual guides, helpers, and teachers, to all the nature beings of my gut bacteria, to all the healing angels, to the great karmic board. I am that I am. God, thank you for bringing us together. We coexist in many ways. We are both divine creations. We both have one creator. I'm accepting this divine direction and plan. To all the active bad bacteria, gut bacteria in my gut, I'm asking for forgiveness for all my wrongdoings, which I may have knowingly and unknowingly committed that have activated you. I'm forgiving you for all your harms committed toward me. I'm forgiving and forgetting. I'm forgiving and forgetting. I'm forgiving and forgetting. Let there be peace and harmony between us always. Let God's love and blessing be with you and your kind. Please go in peace. Please go in peace. Please go in peace. Be with Mother Earth. Be with Mother Earth. Be with Mother Earth. I'm consciously accepting this manifest, manifest, manifest. God, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'm repeating this second half of the page for the good bacteria. I'm accepting this divine direction and plan to all the good gut bacteria in my body. I'm asking for forgiveness for all my wrongdoings, which I may have knowingly and unknowingly committed that have made you less in my body. I'm forgiving for all your harms done committed toward me. I'm forgiving and forgetting. I'm forgiving and forgetting. I'm forgiving and forgetting. Please come back to me. Please grow and help my body to be healthy so that we both can coexist in my body. I need you. Please be with me. Um, let God's love and blessing be with you and your kind always. I'm consciously accepting this manifest, manifest, manifest. God, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Everyone who had your wand with you when you were doing, yeah. Okay, we can also take our wands. Okay, let's have our wands also. Okay, have it on our ajna. And then also let's burn or blaze away all the unwanted emotions as well. Sometimes unwanted emotions also mess up our body. Yeah. So let's take our wands and do this together. Healing wand, become as powerful as required to blaze away and burn away and disintegrate all the negative thought forms and painful emotions that I may have within myself, in my subconscious mind and in my conscious mind, built from all the challenges that I may have experienced throughout my life until this moment. So burn and blaze away and disintegrate all these thoughts and emotions, bring it down to Mother Earth, ground it back to Mother Earth, transmuting it into divine peace and divine healing energy and divine consciousness. Okay, guide me towards the right solution, right mindset, and right realizations to overcome the mental and emotional challenges that I'm facing currently and to heal my body and my organs. Right? God, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Chitra.
Yes.
Teacher Chitra.
Yes.
Cannot catch up. Can you put it in the group, please? I'm missing words. I cannot write as fast as you repeat. Can you put this instruction in the group, please?
Sure. Later we'll put it on there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so very
Okay,
much.
yes.
So nice.
No problem.
So
Madam
happy to be
Chitra,
back.
Madam
you.
Chitra, can you please repeat the affirmation
ये
again?
निन्ने भी यो गल हैगी अज भी यो गल हैगी कोई भी लड़की आई हो किसी लड़की ना भी ब्याह करो तो यो गल बार मुंह मार दे
Ramdeep ji, please mute yourself.
Yeah. Please mute yourself, okay? Because you're being recorded. Yeah. So then it'll be like, Okay. So now let's take the wand. Let's do this slowly. Okay. Let's take the wand. All right. So healing wand, become as powerful as required to blaze and burn away and this all the negative emotions that I may have within myself from my subconscious mind and in my conscious mind, built from all the challenges that I may have experienced throughout my life until this moment. Okay, let's circle the wand. Okay, burn and blaze and disintegrate all these thoughts, negative thought forms, any negative emotions, bring it down straight to Mother Earth, ground it back to Mother Earth, transmuting it into divine peace, divine healing, and divine consciousness. Guide me towards the right solution, the right mindset, and the right realization to overcome all these to recover all these, overcome all these mental and emotional challenges that I'm facing currently in my work or in my health or in any way that is causing any of these unwanted emotions, okay, to be burned and blaze away. God, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, later we'll put these words in the group. All right, thank you. All right, so microbiomes are very important, right? It's like a community of tiny living things inside our body around, and it's working around, right? It helps us to digest food, stay healthy, fight off bad germs and all that. So when we have a balance of good and bad microorganisms, then when the balance of good and bad microorganisms get disrupted, it can lead to health issues. So it's very important that we have good microorganisms. That's when we are actually feeding the microbes, and they're actually helping us to also our body to have the right energy and the right way to function and all that. So keeping the microbiome healthy is important for our overall health and well-being and all that. Mm? So sometimes our brain gets threatened especially when we get stressed, right? Our brain gets threatened. So we feel like, hey, maybe we're late for work or we're waiting for some bad news or something. Then your brain says, oh, danger, right? Then it sends the wrong messages. And when it does, so sometimes it also doesn't help you to digest properly and all that. Affects our digestive system. Sometimes the body can also send out stress molecules, chemicals like cortisol, just now we were talking about, and adrenaline, unnecessary, unwanted adrenaline rushing through the body. So it's always forcing us to respond quickly. So sometimes you can't fall asleep properly because your brain is still active and all that. Sometimes they also bind the cells to all over the body. So these molecules lock into the cells, like in our heart, our lungs, our gut, and muscles. And then our heart beat faster, or our stomach is not doing the right thing, or tightens the muscle and becomes tense because you are either ready to fight or run. So you're always in a stress mode. So it affects the body to function properly. You also, sometimes physically, and you can feel the emotions, like you get a headache or stomach ache or feel jittery, or some people just feel nervous all the time for no reason, right? So then your body is always reacting to those chemical or the emotional chemicals, right? So how will it manage the digestive system or the physical part where it has to balance and to do the digestion and to send the right enzymes and work to be done when it's always in the in the flight and run mode kind of thing, flee or flight, so then it's always like the body is sending wrong messages or wrong signals, and it also stresses the digestive. So if stress lasts for too long, like constant stress molecules can weaken our immune system, right? It messes with your sleep, or cause inflammation. That's why emotional health matters so much. Like, so emotional stress isn't just in the head. They can send real chemical through the whole entire body, to disrupt the function of the body and all that. Yeah. Okay. Shweta and Madam Nivedita, you want to add on anything?
No, madam, I think you.
It's perfect. I think the emotions are number one, Chitra. Like for me, when I first started with PVH, like I had done so much work, but Siva sir kept saying, emotion, emotion, emotion. So until I addressed the emotion, it was very hard to take care of everything else.
Yes, and when you keep on burning and blazing away, and you become in control. You see, yeah, things happens every time. There is some form of stress or the other, but if you are going to react to every single stress all the time, then it's going to mess up your body and your organs and your health, right? So sometimes being grounded and going out, leaving everything first and then just step out and go out to the to the nature, or just take a slow walk, or taking a breather helps. Yeah, so it doesn't get overwhelming. Work will always be there. Housework will always be there. It never ends, yeah. Okay, ladies. So don't get overly stressed. Oh, I haven't done this, I haven't done that, I haven't done this. Then all these will unnecessarily mess up your system, right? It will be done. It will get done when you are ready, right? So sometimes, like, you just need to take a breather. You just have to do it, right? So nothing is more important than your health. So you are in charge of your health and take control of that and all that. Yeah. So it's important because you see, when unnecessary stress, it affects your gut, and stress also influence your brain. So the cortisol is the part. Sometimes it gets trapped and it stays there. And over in the long run, it messes up a lot of your organs and your system. Right. Once in a while, getting stress is good because it helps you to, get you active. But prolonged stress is the one that, and chronic stress is not good for the body at all, right? So chronic stress
Yeah,
is
and someone asked a question here: is anxiety also due to this?
yes.
So, yeah, anxiety, what I have seen is sometimes acidity also leads to anxiety, and sometimes it's the emotional imbalance that we have. We are unable to process our emotions, so anxiety all comes when there is too much of cortisol level in your body. Anxiety comes up. So what I usually tell people and what I do for my nephew. You heal the vagus nerve first, heal the stomach, and after you heal the stomach, you say, please neutralize the acid in the body, and then in the stomach. Then heal the diaphragm, because what happens when when the vagus nerve becomes rigid because of acidity, your diaphragm is pulled up, or sometimes your pericardium is very tight. It pulls up the diaphragm, and then your heartbeat increases. So that is the reason you heal your heart, physical heart, all the 4 pumps, the pericardium, diaphragm, and the vagus nerve. People with anxiety, this is very, very important. So, whoever's not whoever is not muted, please do it, because we are talking some. So this is what you need to heal. Whoever has anxiety, because how many ever pills you take, it is only taking care of the symptom, but it is not taking care of the root cause of that. The root cause is this. Sometimes what I have observed, usually I give very healthy food to my nephew. In spite of it, he has lot of acidity issues. This is an autoimmune disorder. Acidity can also be caused. It could be one of the reasons of acidity is autoimmune disorder. Because when your endocrine system is not functioning to the optimistic levels, and when your spleen is overworking, this happens. So people who have autoimmune disorder, please do not heal your spleen or energize your spleen. Please heal your thymus gland. The more you heal your thymus gland, that is what will control the excessive work of spleen. Because autoimmune disorder is your body is doing what is harmful to you, because it is getting wrong instructions from the endocrine system. So you have to, this is it's like, dots connecting. So all these things need to be healed. So when I don't have time, what I do is whatever is causing the acidity in Akhil's body, please heal that. Because sometimes this happens in the midnight. I am half asleep. So whatever is, but it helps. See, when you are in that right frame of mind, doing the right, wand really does wonders. Okay, thank you. Chitra, you can continue.
I have, couple more things on the anxiety, because I went through this myself. Once, in addition to healing, also doing a lot of balance breathing, because it's your stomach that that needs help, and the balance breathing helps with a lot of other things as well. So doing 1 minute to 5 minutes of balance breathing helps. And the second thing is doing divine fire for like good 20-40 minutes for self and the soul. That helped me get off. I was just in the starting point of going on anxiety medicine, and I was able to stop it. So just that divine fire helped at that time. Now, when anxiety or fear starts coming, what I found is usually it's not mine, it's coming from a soul, or there is something else happening. So I immediately check for it, that why do I have fear? Why do I have anxiety? And usually it's something from outside. As soon as I clear it, it goes away.
Sorry, I'm just muting all these people.
I'm done speaking.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very important, because when people experience it and then you understand it further, it's much more better, because it's more hands-on experience and all that. Yeah. Okay, we're almost coming to the end. Yeah, because we have to have the next part of it, because if not, too much of information overload, right? So it's to wrap up the whole thing. If you know, it's your second brain. We talked about the gut and the brain and the stomach and all that, right? So you see, the second brain consists of the stomach, esophagus, small intestines, and colon. And you got a vagus nerve that's connecting to it as well, right? And okay, so and the two brains, one in our head and the one in bowel, must cooperate. So if they don't cooperate, right, then there'll be chaos in the gut. And sometimes you have constipation, because sometimes unwanted stress, as what we said, right? It all leads on to that. So heal the physical stomach, esophagus, small intestine, colon, and then also now villi with, our pH1. Both the vagus nerve and the gut microbiota are involved in the mood disorder. So it's good to heal our microbes. Just now when what Madam Shweta was also saying, right? It's good to add on in our affirmation as well. So it worked perfectly for her. So it is her experience. Remember, each and every one will have your individual experience, because when you are connected to your affirmations, when you are connected to your wand, you
The
will have your
voice is very low, ma'am. Please.
voice is low.
Yes.
Isn't
Sounds
it
okay
loud?
to me.
Oh, okay. Right. Thank you. All right. So, so it's important, because sometimes when we are connected to the wand, we will have our own gut feeling, our own intuition and all that. So sometimes it's good, like because it's trial and error sometimes, right? And then your body system better than anyone else. So if it works, it works, right? So what may work for one may not work for the other, right? And that's important to take note, right? So healing the vagus nerve with pH1 can reduce inflammation and stress. So it has been shown that changes or disorder in the gut microbiota causes depression. So remember, you see, everything boils down to emotions, thought forms, and so we have to take charge of our own emotions and keep it at bay. I'm not saying every one of us can do that, but of course we can take conscious effort to do that, because it is our health that suffers at the end of it. And you want a better, healthier life. When you have a healthier life, you can do so many things for your family, for your friends, for everybody who lives around you, right? So how to keep your digestive system healthy? To conclude the whole thing, right? So digestive system has to be healthy as it is the source of our energy. It has to be healthy because that's where we get our source of energy. We are getting energy from the food, water, and air. So the food energy and the health is directly connected, right? But so if we are absorbing and assimilating, for an example, eating the food properly, digesting properly, it's good. Then every cell is happy, which is considered fit. But sometimes, because of unwanted emotions, or whether with the family or with the work or whatever that may be, it can actually throw sometimes off balance. You can see it for yourself. When you have certain emotions that is overwhelming, you can feel that you're not hungry, you're not eating enough, or you're not even eating, right? And then, or you feel sometimes nauseous, or you feel just sick, right? Or sometimes some people can't even go toilet. They feel constipated and all that. So you see, everything plays a part, right? So very important that we must ensure that our stomach is healthy, because understanding our body and its signal, it's a way of living our life as well. So sometimes uneasiness of the stomach, bloating of the stomach, little pain here or there, or loose motion or constipation, it's sending you signal that, hey, something is not right. And all these are languages of the stomach trying to tell us something. So if we do have any issues, we should take it seriously and not just ignore it. Oh, never mind, it's only once, that happened and all that. Take it seriously. Start healing, right? We have a wand to heal. We can take and look at our affirmations, like what Shweta was saying. Read the cells, for the cells, read the bacteria and the virus and all that. So our stomach sends us signals. So we should do something about it, right? Sitting too long causes digestive problem as well. So if your office work requires you to be seated there for too long, then once in a while take a breather, like maybe half an hour, take a breather, just stand up and stretch, so that the stomach is and intestines are all able to like also move around, a bit. So you will know it will start functioning well. Because if you sit too long, then you also have kidney issues. Like you see most of the Grab drivers, they can't go to the toilet very often and they sit for too long. After a while, they find that the kidneys are failing or the kidneys don't function as well as what they used to, because too much of sitting in one position, right? And then, small intestines and large intestines get trouble and all that. So a bit of walking, as and when you can, stepping out of the office and getting your lunch and all that, it's good, right? So walk in between, right? Walk in between and then come back, take a little water or take a drink and come back. Even 2 minutes doing this will help digestion and the above problem to be lesser. So don't eat food when you're not hungry. So many people have this perception that, yeah, it's 1 o'clock, I must eat. It is not like that, You must eat when you're hungry. When your stomach is super hungry, right? When you're hungry, then eat. Then the food will actually start, the right enzymes will be produced in order for the food to digest. When you're not hungry, the body will not be able to do the right thing as well. It will be like overworked and all that. See, eat only when you're hungry. And, like it's important. Half an hour before food, always drink water, right? And then 1 hour after food, then you drink water again, right? Because the enzymes are produced at that time to digest the food that is required for for digestion to take place. By drinking water after eating immediately or in between food, it will cause the enzymes to be diluted and not being able to digest properly. So drink warm water when you get up in the morning. All this will help, right? And going to bed, drink some warm water, right? We can reset our digestive system by fasting, doing detoxing. We can do pH, liver flush, even enema if you have constipation problem, or even enema when you think that the food is stuck there. Sometimes the food is there for too long, 2 to 4 days, right? If you don't pass motion properly and all that, just imagine you leave a leftover food out there, stinky and all that, it will start smelling. So the same thing, if you don't get rid of the food, throw it away, then your inside your colon, your large intestine will start smelling too. And that's why when you let out gas, it smells sometimes like sewage system, right? Or very bad, like sulfuric acid and all that. So especially when you eat eggs and all that, right? So it's important to make sure cleanse the digestive system, give it some rest. So eat light food. Some days you don't even have to eat food, maybe just go on with light snacks like biscuits or guava or some fruits, so give it a rest. The stomach and the intestines will appreciate this a lot, because once in a while when we do that, we are helping ourselves and our body to function better. Yeah, so that we can prevent such clinical digestive problems like the irritable bowel syndrome, SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, sometimes even the gut leakage. We can even prevent that through conscious effort, right? And also you have the gastroesophageal reflux and all that. So reflux, acid reflux and all that. So all these can be minimized and prevented if we take the right action. Okay, with that, we end today. We will come back with part 2 of digestion next week with more chemicals and all that. That is, with liver and pancreas as well. Yeah, so with that, we end today. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Chitra.
so much,
Thank
Chitra
you,
and all the
everyone.
teachers.
Thank you,
Thank
Chitra.
you,
Thank you all.
Chitra.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
teachers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chitra. Thank you to all PVS.
Thank
Thank you,
you. And
Nivedita.
then
Bye bye.
Sorry for the inconvenience caused by me.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Chitra ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Chitra.
Oh,
Thank
you
you.
shared so
thank
much
you.
information.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Chitra.
Chitra.
Thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
everyone.
Thank you, Chitra.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everybody who asked question and shared, and thank you for
Yeah.
everybody who present here.
Sheen
Yes.
has, Chitra,
Yes,
Sheen
B.
has put a message here saying that you can burn, blaze away excessive cortisol. No, madam, you cannot do burn, blaze away excessive cortisol. You can heal and condition whatever is causing the excessive cortisol. You can't burn, blaze away everything. You can only burn, blaze away blocks and entities, emotions, and thought forms. Okay. When it comes to cortisol, heal and condition whatever is causing the release of cortisol, excessive release of cortisol in my body. Okay.
Yes, you can't burn and blaze away.
Thank
You're
you.
absolutely, you can only blaze away and
Thank
burn away
you.
that's causing all those that is causing the cortisol increase in your body and all that. Okay, with the final one, the Tirukural with the food.
திருக்குறள் அற்றால் அரவறிந்து உண்க அத்துடம்பு பெற்றான் நெடித்துய்க்கும் ஆறு. நாம் உண்ட உணவு செரிப்பது மிகவும் முக்கியம். உண்ணும் உணவின் அளவையும் அறிந்து உண்பது நீண்ட நாள் நாம் வாழ்வதற்கு வழிவகுக்கும்.
Okay, that's very important. Eat moderately, eat what is necessary, and eat so that you can live a long life. Healthy food, right? With that, we end today's session. Thank you, thank you, thank you.